Okay, welcome back. In this video we are going to finalize our quest. So when the player walks to this room, we will end the quest. And another thing we are going to implement here, we would like that when these doors open, we play cutscene to show the player the moment when the door is going down. I already moved these cubes a little bit closer to our portal just for testing, so we don't have to run all the way from from here to the portal. So let's just make the testing a little bit faster. Okay, so we will start from the cutscene. For the cutscene, we need to do a couple of customization things. So in case we enter this stage or this stage, we would like to have an entry event. When this stage is entered, we start to play a level sequence. And for that, we need to do a custom class. So I already created a folder called Quest Classes. So let's jump here. It's empty at the moment. And from Quest Framework category, where you can find all these assets, I'll run through these real quickly. So these condition blueprints you can use to drive conditions for selectors. This custom data you can use to embed any custom data you need in your quests, such as rewards or experience points you get when you complete the quest, and so on. Events, we've been using these before. So when the certain event triggers, it runs a logic, and using this we can do our custom logic. So we are going to use this one to play a level sequence. And then we have a quest objective observer. If you don't want to use quest variables to decide if an objective is completed or failed, you can use this one to implement any custom behavior for any objective. Then service, we've been using this earlier as well. So if you need to do any update actions, ticking actions, let's use this. Then the last one is quest text argument. We've been using text arguments already in our quest texts. Those arguments that we've been using are reading quest variables, but if you want to, you can create your own custom text argument types that you can use in any quest text. For example, if I want to show a name of my character or an item, for example, I can fetch the item name from its class or from any other data you might have, and embed it to a quest text. But for now, as we are doing the level sequence and the cutscene, let's create a new event that will start a level sequence. So we select quest event, and let's name this quest event underscore, let's call it cutscene. Okay, so let's open this. So the event has one function you need to override. So execute event. Let's override it. So this event is triggered when the event is triggered in the quest. And then to make us able to choose the level sequence to play in the quest editor, let's create a variable, and let's name this level sequence, and its type should be level sequence. Okay. So when the event triggers, we want to play the level sequence set in this variable. And actually let's expose it as public so we can edit it in the quest editor. So how to play this? Create a level sequence player, and let's also promote these settings to a variable so we can set them as well in the quest. And then this outputs a level sequence player, so we check if this is valid, and in case it's valid we play it. Okay, so this is how you implement your custom event types. Now if we head back to the quest, let's add our new made event as an entry event to this bonus stage. So let's click here and we should see our new quest event cutscene. So let's pick it. And if I expand this, I see the properties we just made in our blueprint editor. Okay, then we're gonna need, of course, the level sequence we want to play. So let's go to the level and let's create one. So click here at level sequence and let's save it to quest tutorial and let's name it open doors sequence. Let's keep this quite simple. Let's just create a camera. You can find it from create actor panel and cinematics, and let's create sign camera actor and let's place it somewhere there. Maybe let's rotate it a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. And then let's add it to our track. So we get the camera cut automatically. One thing we need to do is to convert this to spawnable camera. So when this level sequence starts, it will spawn this camera. Okay. And if we play it, we should see that the camera is now looking at the doors. Let's add a couple of keyframes so it would start here, and let's move the camera a little bit closer to the doors when the sequence plays. I think that's good. Okay, let's not use too much time on this, but you get the point. Okay, and when we have the level sequence ready, we can just exit the editor and let's head back to our cube quest. Actually, let's test this first in the first node. We're not gonna leave it here, but just for quick testing. So let's create an entry event to this first node, so when the quest starts, this level sequence would play. And let's pick our open doors sequence. And what we want to do, we would like to disable inputs of the player, so let's tick these two options here. So now if we play the game, the level sequence should play after the quest starts, as we can see. Okay, so it works. So now we can just copy this and let's put it here and here as well. And then let's remove it from here. Okay, then let's test it. So let's go our portal. After 5 seconds the cubes are spawned. Let's move them to the portal like so. And now the cutscenes start to play. We saw that the doors are open. And now let's head to the doors. And we are at the final room. Alright. And then next thing, let's create a trigger box here, so we can end the quest when we reach this room. So let's go to actors. Let's create a new actor, and let's name it BP underscore final room trigger. And this will be just having a box collision when we walk to this box. The objective is completed. We know that we reached the final room, and to make that happen, we do the same thing as we did with Portal. So let's add an overlap event here. When component begins overlap, if this other actor is our player character, third person game character, we will send message to quest and we'll continue from there. So we can just broadcast quest message when we reach this point, and the message would be cube quest dot end reached. Okay, then let's go to kube quest and add a service to this stage, and we want to listen to messages and trigger event that will set the variable to true. So we listen to end reached, and the event we want to trigger is set variable, and our variable is reached end, and we set it to true. And the same service should be also in maze stage, so let's add it there. Okay, that's it. Then we need to add the trigger box here. Let's scale it up like so, and the quest should be ready. Let's find portal. And then push cubes. The cutscene plays, the doors are opened, and then let's head to the end room. And the quest is completed. So if we check our journal, we see that our quest is now completed. One thing we still might to do, if we go to play and check our journal, as you can see, we have here an empty box. This box is used to display additional text that can be like the actual journal text of this quest, which is telling a little bit of some background information, some story of the quest, or anything more detailed instead of just displaying objectives. To set that text, the UI is fetching node text to that. So each of these nodes are having a field called node text, and this text could be used to display any text in the journal. By default, this UI fetches the node text of the active stage, or if the quest is ended, it will read the text of the end quest node. So this is the way you can progress the story or something similar. So let's try this. So when we are in this stage, we would like that the journal shows us this text. So let's type here, I was asked to find a portal, so maybe I should find it now. Okay, and hit save. And if we play, we can go to our journal and we see the text we just typed there. And when this stage is ended, the text of this node is used. Let's type here something. I found the portal. Yeah, I found the portal. And if we check the journal now, we see the first text, I was asked to find a portal, so maybe I should find it. And when we walk to the portal and we check it again, there's a text, I found the portal. Okay, the next thing, let's look into the custom text argument. So for example, if I want to show my player name in the node text of this this stage where we push our cubes to the portal, let's set up here. So the text would be then dear, and the player name would be here, player name. I ask you to deliver a couple of cubes for me. So let's set this text argument to use a custom argument. So we have a type enumerator here. Instead of using quest variables, we would like to use a custom text argument here. So let's pick custom. When you use custom text argument class is shown here. So let's create a new custom text argument type. Let's head to quest assets and let's create a quest text argument. And let's we want that the text will show the name of the player. So this would be then player or character name arc. Everything you need to do is to override a function called get text, and this text should return the text for the argument. So how do we get the name of the player? Well, first we don't have any names for the player character, so we need to go, and this is by the way just for an example. You should do this some way differently, but for the sake of this tutorial I'm just gonna add it to the character of the player as a variable. So let's go our third person character, let's create a new variable player name, and let's make it public, and it's a text type. So let's give it the player some name. Let's call him John. Okay, so back to the text argument blueprint we created. So we need to get the player character that is owning this quest. You see that there's a context as an input to the function. This context is the quest context that the player has. We have a function here called get owner actor or get owner controller. We can use this owner controller, which returns our player controller, in this case. So let's cast this to a player controller. And the player controller is possessing our character. So let's get pawn, get control pawn, and we know that this pawn is our character. So let's cast this to third person character. And from the character we will get its name. So character, what was the variable? Player name, sorry, player name. So let's get the name of the player and let's return it. In case that these casts fail, we can return something as a fallback to notify that something went wrong. Let's call it invalid, and let's return it in both cases that the cast will fail. Okay, and then we go to Cube Quest and we use our just created character name argument. And let's test this. So let's walk to the portal and let's wait for 5 seconds. Here we go, and let's open journal. And now we see that the text argument in the text is replaced with the name of the player. Okay, that was all that I had. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching the video.